Joining us right now, everyone knows him all over the NCAA. He's produced and developed many guys to go on to success in Europe and in MLS. Head coach of University of Connecticut, Ray Reid. Coach, welcome again, my friend.
Hi, Anthony. How are you?
I'm very good. I couldn't be as good as you after that big win last night. Let's talk about it. I mean, overtime win. What a feed by Kwame Alou, and you guys took it off the counter, and the rest is history. Talk about it.
Yeah, I thought we played really well against Boston College last night. We had a lot of chances, couldn't finish. And then at the end of the first overtime, they had a corner with about 40 seconds to go. And for some reason, they brought 9 guys forward, and they rushed it. And we stripped the corner. Simon Olofsson, our Norwegian center back, carried it to midfield, laid the ball back to Abdul at midfield, and Abdul hit like a 35-yard diagonal ball to Kwame at the top of the box, which he pulled down. And then just slipped to our left back coming forward with like a 7-second counter. We scored with 7 seconds left for result. It was a great goal, great effort by the boys.
Coach, let's talk about it. Going into extra time, the minds are getting tired, the legs are tiring, the body is not at 100%. Guys have got, bruises, nicks, and cuts. What are you saying to them when you get that break to really keep focused at the job at hand?
Yeah, you just got to push them through. They put a lot of work in the off-season and in the season. You just got to kind of guide them through. You got 2 10-minute periods. We can't give in. We just can't give in to fatigue. And the guys were good. I was very proud of how they played all night and how they won the game.
Coach, let's talk about it now. Looking forward, obviously there's more challenges ahead. The journey continues, and obviously you guys want to get better and healthier as you continue on. What are the keys to success for your squad moving forward? Did you take away something last night that you say to yourself, this is what we need to work on? We're happy with a lot of things, but this is what we need to focus on.
I think the good thing is we play Saturday, and then we play the next 2 Saturdays. So really, there'll be 1 match a week, after this Saturday. Full week of training, which you don't often get in college soccer in America. We can get some rest, and we can get some preparation, work on a few of our deficiencies as we enter into the last 3 conference matches.
Coach, just lost you there a bit, and I wanted to get your thoughts on a couple guys that I've kept my eye on your team this year. Olofsson, to me, has been solid, steady in the 2 games I've watched. He's a guy that really comes to work each and every time out there for you. And your goalkeeper, Levine. Here's a guy that I think is going to go either to Europe or possibly high in the draft. Talk about these guys.
Well, Olofsson is from Norway. He has his moments. He can be a very good, very smart center back. Sometimes he has brain lapses, but as a sophomore, he's making some strides and some improvement and was very good for us last night. Levine has come up with some major saves, but he had some lapses in decision-making that have cost us goals and ultimately matches. And if he's going to want to play after college, he's going to have to eliminate that completely. That's something we hope we can work on with him this season and in the off-season entering his senior year.
And a lot of people up here want to know about Kwame Alou. A lot of scouts in MLS have had a look at him. A lot of people are expecting him to go high. What have you liked? What have you told him that you expected more from him, obviously, as one of the leaders of this team moving forward?
Well, obviously, he's so flexible and multi-dimensional. I think in the league, he'll play left back, but he's playing for us, attacking midfield. He can play on the flank. Got a lot of freedom and a lot of mobility. He's having a good senior year, but I think he's gonna get known and established by what he does in these last 3 regular season games and what we do in the postseason.
Coach, let's talk about the NCAA. I've spoken to you in the past, and I've had many coaches on here, whether it's from Maryland, Sasho Sarowski, Carlos Samuano, on and on, a lot of coaches, and they've seen a lot of things evolve over the last 5 years, and I really enjoyed it the last 5 years because a lot more players have come over from overseas, South America, and have really integrated and helped a lot of the NCAA programs. How have you seen this, the sport that you've been involved in, soccer and NCAA, really, take off in the last 5-6 years for the better?
Yeah, I just think the game is growing. There's more better coaches. There's more players that have an idea, that have been trained the correct way. Everybody can organize a defense. Everybody has a long throw, and everybody's fit. So they've made it easier, not easier, they made it harder to break down set defenses. I'm not so sure we're getting more technical players, to be honest with you. I just think we're getting more players that fit roles in the systems. I think the college game needs to do a better job developing better soccer players and not just athletes.
So how do you go about doing that? Because I know up here in Canada, I got to be honest, I'm a parent of two boys, and they've gone through the system. And what I noticed traveling to a lot of the tournaments down in the US of A, once they get to the age of 16, after that, to me, once they get close into the box, they're lost. They look lost. They look like a deer with the headlights on. They don't express themselves. They tend to make too many passes instead of having a shot on goal. How do we get that mindset changed in the North American player?
Yeah, I just think that you've got to sacrifice winning at young ages and teach these guys, put these guys in an environment where they can develop technically, where they can get better, and that's not always the case because results, people are worried about results at young ages, which is, not the correct way to go. So hopefully over time, the youth coach, the academy coach will put more of an emphasis on developing young players and giving them the proper skill sets, the proper tactical mentality, and not be so worried about, getting results at U12 or U14.
Are you concerned, Coach, as well? All over North America, it's safe to say that there's not really an identity with a youth club or an academy per se. When you go to Europe or South America, when you go to a certain club, it's a defensive-minded club or it's an offensive-minded club or they play a certain way. I've yet to see that with any club or academy anywhere in Canada in the US of A. Is it time they start doing that?
Yeah, I think all the academies should have a theme, whatever they think is the correct way. They should have something that is their MO, their model, that people know it's their signature, what they're about. Now, I don't think we have that. You're right. I think it's, it's kind of just like, a potpourri of stuff. It's soccer. There's never an emphasis on having the players have a certain foundation in a certain area, and I hope that's going to change, certainly in the U.S.
Is there a danger, Coach, with having so many wonderful people coming from all over the world, whether it's the USA or Canada, bringing their great minds to your country and ours here, that they want to play the style they played back in the old country? I know here in Canada, unfortunately, for years and years and years, it was the UK style. Kick and run, tallest kid, fastest kid, play that way. It's starting to change where it's more of a possession style that they're trying to ingrain. Do you think that that's, the way that a lot of these coaches need to start thinking and not back in the old country way?
Well, I think it's fine if these coaches come to America or Canada, but I think the governing body's got to have more of a say. So as you said, people are on the same page. I think it's fine to have the diversity and the different ethnic groups in the country affecting the game, but there's still got to be a common thread that ties it together.
Coach, let me ask you this time of year, a couple months into the school year, a lot of your players are juggling school, training, games, travel, on and on, maybe even a little bit of a social life. Do you continuously, with your your coaches, check in with these youngsters to make sure that they're okay, maybe once a week, a couple times a week, to make sure they're on top of their studies, that they're okay mentally, because some of them are miles and miles away from home?
Yes, we meet with our guys weekly just to monitor their social life, the academic life, everything that got going on. I just think we have to be heavily involved in their life, that they need to know that you care about them much more than just as a player.
And that, I think, is key. Do you have that open door policy, Coach? If a player has a question or a concern the way they're being used, or maybe they're just not feeling, important enough to the team, do you have an open door policy where they can talk to you about it?
The players will come in and discuss almost anything, whether it's with me or one of our assistants or our strength and conditioning coach. They'll come and get answers to their questions.
And let me ask you this, Coach. Today's game, the player always has, questions, and they want those answers. Are you there and your coaching staff giving them those answers that they're, requiring? Whether it's you're playing an opponent, Coach, I think we should try this or we should try that. Or obviously the buck stops with you, with your record speaks for itself.
Yeah, certainly the player of today is much more inquisitive than the player of yesteryear. But obviously, we try to give them, whether they like the answer or not, we give them answers to their questions. They may not always agree with them, but we give them to them.
Well said, Coach. Lastly, before we let you go, Coach, look, we couldn't be happier to see a lot of Canadians down playing in the NCAA, with your wonderful, school there and other schools. But to me, the question is this simply to you. You're a Hall of Famer. You've been involved in the game many, many years. You care about the players. You've seen Canadians come down there. What do you still see might be the gap or the difference between the Canadian player and the American player in your humble estimation?
Well, the Canadian players that we've got in at UConn, I'm very pleased with. I'll be honest with you. Very pleased with. Some of these guys are more advanced, Certainly the kids from the Toronto area that we've gotten, O'Brien White, Kyle Laren, Kwame Alou, Munir Salah. These guys are all advanced guys that, we are blessed to have in our program.
And obviously they fit in nicely. You've done your scouting, you've done your homework. When you're setting your sights and your targets on a player here in the Toronto area, for example, do you send your assistant first to see a game or two, and then you come in with the stamp of approval? How does it work?
Yeah, but my assistant will go see it first. But certainly the guy we have presently, Mike Miller, we really trust. He's got great connections in Canada. So he'll lay the groundwork, he'll identify kids, and then we'll get a look at them to confirm it.
Outstanding. And lastly, just before we let you go, you mentioned Kyle Laren. He's been on our show a number of times. He's a proud Canadian and a guy that's had an unbelievable couple years with Orlando City. Do you believe in your heart of hearts, the way he's played in 2 years in MLS, that the next challenge for him should be in Europe with a top-tier team to test him, to challenge him?
Look, if they don't get him in the EPL soon, they're doing a disservice to the kid. It's time for him to go. He's got to be the small fish in the big pond, and the time to do it is now. If he doesn't go at the end of the season, they're doing a disservice to him.
Unbelievable. Well said, Coach. God bless you. Good luck the rest of the way, and thank you so much, as always, for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Thank you, Anthony. Have a great day.